Satnam. Welcome to our 40-day challenge to transmute and transform and release the heavy energies of anger that are currently abundant in the world. We will begin with the kriya, fists of anger, for 3 minutes, and then we will continue on to a meditation that's called inner conflict resolver reflex. It's a form of an ancient therapy to help us tap into our center and help our body reset. I will talk briefly about the benefits as we go along. This channel will only host the instructional video, and the challenge itself will be broadcasted live on Facebook daily for 40 days. You will find the necessary links below the video. So with every Kundalini yoga practice, we tune in with Adi Mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Creation, I bow to the infinite wisdom within, to the cosmic intelligence that is all around and within me. Following that mantra, we also have a mantra for protection and to honor the truth of who and what we are. Ad Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Siri Gurudev Ve Name. This is a language that is derivative of Sanskrit. It's called Gurmukhi. This language has a particular vibration, but if you are not in line, not aligned with any of these sounds, and if it's not true for you to say them, or if it goes against your being, please just tune in and center, taking a long deep breath instead. The kriya utilizes a very powerful breath. It is a breath of fire through the O-shaped mouth. Women who are on their moon cycle, or women who are expecting that a past 120th day of their pregnancy, should avoid this breath during this practice and maintain a long deep breath. And you could do the breath through the mouth if that's appropriate for your condition. Find a comfortable space and find a comfortable seat. You could do this meditation sitting in a chair. You could do this sitting on the floor. Make sure you have a bottle of water next to you. The mouth tends to get dry with this breath, so it's good to stay hydrated. Drink a little bit of water before we begin and right after. But if you need to stop and hydrate during the 3 minutes of the kriya that we will do, that's fine. Please practice love and care for your body and do take care of your needs. The challenge will continue for 40 days because in the Kundalini yoga tradition, it is believed that it takes 40 days to establish a new habit and rewire. Your experience will be unique to you, and it is my intention that this particular set of kriya and meditation will help us manage and metabolize heavy emotions that we feel at times without escaping or avoiding. So let's talk about the breath. The breath in the meditation will require us to take a deep inhale for a count of 5 seconds. So you begin to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you exhale for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the breath is pushed out, and then we have a suspension of the breath for 15 seconds. Those are the guidelines that were passed down as this meditation was taught. However, Not everyone has the lung capacity that fits this criteria. So if 15 seconds is too challenging for you to hold the breath out, reduce it to 10. Just make it longer than the 5 seconds. So the breath will look and sound like this. On the inhale, make sure that your belly inflates and the diaphragm kind of releases downwards, it pushes down. On the exhale, the diaphragm comes up and the belly button is drawing in towards the spine. You're pushing all the breath out. On the suspension of the breath, there should be no movement in the diaphragm. For some of us it's hard, for some of us it's easy. It just depends if you're a seasoned practitioner, experienced practitioner, or completely new to this. So don't be hard on yourself and practice patience, because it will come with time. The breath in its grossest aspect is a blend of oxygen, nitrogen, and other elements. The subtle aspect of the breath in yoga tradition is known as prana, translated roughly into vital force or life force energy. And if you think of it broadly, it is the breath that sustains us more than anything, more than water, more than food, more than sunlight. We need the breath to feed our body with all the elements that exist in the world, get carried through into our body through the breath. The breath is also our guru. Guru is enlightener. Guru is darkness and Ru is light. So translation of guru roughly is the enlightener, that which dispels darkness. In very basic definition, breath could be our greatest teacher. If we learn to cultivate that space of stillness and quietness, breath and the movements of breath mimic the movements of emotions and thoughts. And if we could slow down the breath and learn to control our breath, then as a byproduct of that, we also cultivate the power to slow down our thoughts, control our emotions. And so the benefits of doing meditations on the breath are numerous. And I invite you just to give this a try for 40 days and experience it for yourself. The kriya, going back to the kriya, it's called fists of anger. It is an invitation for you to resolve your own anger. Anger, again, is energy. It's in Sanskrit, it's Agni. Agni means fire. We have all the elements in our body: earth, water, fire, air, ether, all of that. We're composites of stardust, and we have all those elements that exist in nature. The fire element in your body, Agni, is represented by the heat. It's also represented by emotions such as anger, rage, jealousy, envy. So those emotions are not bad in and of themselves, right? It's when we're tipped the scale too far. So those emotions, like anger, when transmuted, it's the fire that propels us to act. And we just want to act from a place of the heart, not from the place of the mind. The main motive of fire, Agni, in your body is assist in your digestive system. It assists in the production of blood and other fluids. It sustains your body, such as your body heat. And it's responsible for nourishment and growth of the body. However, when our emotions, heavy emotions such as anger, remain unmetabolized in our body, when we don't allow the body to express the anger properly, what grows in the body? Those pockets of energy that are trapped, and that may lead to disease, may lead, not necessarily. So we want to be able to move that energy of fire and let our body express it outward appropriately on a container, in a contained fashion here in our practice, so that when we're feeling that surge of anger coming up when we're faced in certain challenging and intense situation, that we could always come back and reap the benefits of this practice and learn to control and transmute and act and respond from the place of the heart center. I think I've covered most everything that we have, and so we will now begin our practice. We'll tune in. Just a few points here. I'm going to use a metronome to help us count the seconds, and in meditation I will set you up with the breath, and then you have to find your own, because I don't want, like I said, everyone has different lung capacity and the ability to hold the breath out. The key with suspension of the breath, when we inhale and then fully exhale and we keep the breath out, when it is time to inhale again, you should not be gasping for air. It should still be a smooth inhalation, full exhalation, suspension of the breath, and then again, inhalation is smooth, not, okay? So if you find yourself gasping for the breath, that means you need to cut down the suspension time a little bit less. A few points about how do we count. 5 seconds inhale, 5 seconds exhale. The mind is busy, it's occupied. It's a form of meditation when you have to count. It's okay until you find your flow, and you will find your flow. You may not find it today on day one, but I promise you, you will. And keeping your mind on the count is not a bad thing. You have the mantra, the current that's going to be passing through your mind is counting rather than rampant thoughts. The other thing I wanted to mention about the kriya, fist of anger, is that you are invited to bring up situations and feeling of anger so that you give your body an outlet to express it. It's not about sitting in and holding it in and repeating to yourself, I'm not an angry person, I'm a happy person, I don't get angry, because that was me. And it's called spiritual bypassing, so completely numbing and disassociating from the body. That is not the practice intention. You want to bring up angry emotions, and I'll be honest with you that for a while that was me. You know, I don't feel anything to be angry about right now. I am doing my yoga. I'm perfectly good. And, you know, there's plenty of things to be angry about. And there's plenty of anger that I'm sure I've accumulated throughout my 46 years of existence here in this lifetime that I don't even know what I hold there. So it is just a permission and allowing myself to let it out through this amazing kriya that is only 3 minutes, with a powerful breath to detoxify our body, and a certain mudra and a movement that will help us release and express that in the appropriate and contained space. So without any further ado, Let's bring our hands together and tune in. Let's synchronize our breath, sitting comfortably and easy seated. Let's close the eyes down gently, chest lifted, chin tucked in, sitting up with lengthened spine. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through the nose, release the shoulders down the back. Again, inhale deeply through the nose. Exhaling out through the nose. One more deep inhale. And with the eyes closed, lift your gaze up to the third eye, Ajna Chakra, the space between your eyebrows. And exhale. Tuning in with Adi Mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, followed by protection mantra. If you don't know the words, don't worry. Just continue to breathe long and deep. Inhale deeply. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath. Hold that breath in. Keep the gaze to the third eye. And exhale. Inhale for protection mantra. Adgure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Adgure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Satgure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Deeply inhale. Once again, suspend the breath. Keep the gaze to the third eye. Engage the root lock, which is contracting of the rectum, sex organ. Draw the belly button up and in. Hold. Exhale, release. Okay. So 3 minutes of fists of anger. Your mudra, which is the hand seal, it helps us circulate the energy. Bringing your thumbs onto the fleshy part of the little bump by the pinky. So it's called Mercury Mound. The Mercury finger is for communication, energy of communication and connection and expression. And the thumb is related to earth and ego. So we're gonna press the earth and ego to the Mercury, a planet associated with communication and expression. We're gonna wrap the other fingers around the thumb, making the fist. It's up to you how strongly you want to choke that ego. So keep it tight. The movement in this kriya is a backward stroke over the head. It starts out at the heart center, so right across the chest line or the about nipple line, and moves back. Imagine that there is a punching bag behind you and you're trying to hit it. Use the force. This is going to help with the lymph nodes and release all that energy. It is what I feel is a safe and contained space to do so. The breath, O-shaped mouth. You're inhaling and exhaling through the O-shaped mouth. Make sure you're not puffing the cheeks. It's not blowing out candles with. It's really the force of the digestive system, the navel right here, the fire that's here. And what you're doing with that breath is fueling the fire. You're releasing it. You're detoxifying the body while expunging, purging, and moving the body to release those emotions of anger, rage, hostility, whatever it is. So give it your best. Your eyes are closed, focusing at the brow point to the best of your ability. I know the gaze will drift off and you will forget, and when you remember, just bring it back. No judgment, no negative self-talk, just really stay with it. There is no mantra to go with it, but if it helps you, you could chant the mantra Hat or Sat Nam. I don't want to put too much on you in this practice. If you're a seasoned Kundalini Yoga practitioner, of course you could do mentally, mentally, right? As you're breathing. So you find your way. Attention is on the breath. The power is coming from the navel. On an inhale, the belly inflates. On an exhale, the belly goes inwards. The belly button pulls in. Your navel center, your abdominal muscles will be working. What else? At the end of the kriya, at the end of 3 minutes, I will ask you to inhale deeply through the mouth. We will interlace the fingers and stretch up, and exhale through the mouth like a cannon breath. Pushing all the breath out, like you're firing it out. And we will do that 3 times. Ready? 3 minutes. I'll keep an eye on a timer and I'll guide you through it. This is the time you want to take a sip of water to stay hydrated. And if you have chopstick, make sure you gloss over your lips because they tend to get dry. And now we begin. So bringing your thumbs onto the Mercury mound, wrapping the other fingers around, making the fist. Let's start off the breath. And now begin to punch the fist in a backward strokes with that breath. And go. Find your tempo, find your rhythm. You might go a little bit slower than me or a little bit faster, it just depends, but we're going at it. Bring up anything that makes you feel angry. The social injustice, the prejudice, discrimination, the pollution, the global warming, whatever it is, bring it out. It could be personal, it could be global. Keep going. Keep going. We're at a halfway point. Bring it up, transmute it, release it. Do you have to understand it? Do you have to figure it out? No, not at all. Just punch it out and let it go. Do your best to keep the inhales and exhales equal in their strength. If the arms get tired, keep the breath going. Last 30 seconds. Go, go, go. Get it out. mouth. Interlace the fingers, invert, palms facing up, stretch the arms overhead, hold that breath. Stretch the spine. Cannon breath out. 2 more times, hold the pose, inhale through the mouth. Squeeze, lengthen the spine. Cannon breath out. Again, 1 more time, inhale deep. Pull that root block, pelvic muscles contracted, hold that breath, stretch the arms. Cannon breath out. Inhale, bring your hands down onto your lap. Wisdom seal, index finger and thumb touching. Placing it on your knees, just sitting here quietly. Letting the breath normalize. Keep your eyes closed, go within. Fists of anger to transmute, transform, release a low vibration energy of anger to help us respond and be in the world with love and kindness, compassion and understanding in these difficult times. And take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out or exhale. 2 more times, deep inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Well done. This is again a great opportunity to take some water. Give yourself a little pat. Done well. We have 39 more days of this intensity and see where you end up. Okay, now stretch your legs out while I explain the meditation. The meditation is to inner conflict resolver, reflex, kind of like a tongue twister. So to resolve inner conflicts. Well, you might be asking yourself, well, what kind of inner conflicts do I have? I don't know. Let's look at the shadows. Let's look at our shadows. Shadow is that part of us that we suppress, that we don't show to the world. What is it? Are you a racist? You know, that's just a broad example. We say, I'm not, but are you sure? What, I could tell you honestly, I discriminate. I kill mosquitoes and wasps, but I rescue bees and spiders. That's a form of discrimination. And I'm just being totally transparent and sharing with you that we all have shadow aspects of ourselves. And we cannot be fully in our power when we suppress certain things. The idea is to embrace all of us and to realize, to shine light into those dark parts of ourselves so that we could come from a place of love, compassion, kindness, and understanding to everyone that comes in contact with us or crosses our path, or anyone that you interact with. So this meditation is a form of ancient healing. Think of it as a therapy. And when we are having internal conflicts, you know, what do we do in times like this? Do you disassociate from your body and don't feel anything, which I'm good at that. I'm very good at that. I am just learning to feel emotions in my body. For whatever reason, it was part of my composition, my DNA from my ancestors and from my childhood that I've learned to, it's a survival mechanism, and I've learned to disassociate from my body so I don't feel things. I don't feel things that are more of a subtle nature. I definitely feel anger. That is very known to me, but I'm learning to feel other things right now. So in this meditation, things might come up. Don't judge it. Just witness it. Just observe it. It's helpful to keep a journal. It's helpful to write it down, what comes up, and then you don't have to solve it. You just bring awareness to it. And that's sharing from my experience. So we will do this meditation for 6 minutes. I'm going to set the timer, and I will explain the posture. The posture is your hands, 4 fingers are together, thumbs are up. You're going to place your 4 fingers parallel to the floor, pointing towards each other. Thumbs are up, they're on your body. Your elbows will be slightly flared out. You don't want to drop them too much, but you're going to keep them open. We're sitting with a long and lengthened spine, and your chin is slightly pushed back so that it opens up the back of the neck. Your gaze, your eyelids will be closed, but not fully. 9/10 closed, which means there will be a little bit of light coming in as like you're looking down. So not necessarily close it all, but we have a little bit of light coming in. The eyelids will flicker. It's okay. It's okay. The breath, as we've talked earlier, 5 seconds inhale. It could be really quick 5 seconds, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5 seconds exhale. On inhale, you have to make sure that your belly inflates out. Think of the Buddha belly. You know, you've seen lots of statues with the Buddhas. You rub the belly, they're kind of like, this is like a prosperity section here. So pushing the diaphragm down, expanding the belly on the inhale. So let's try that together. And then exhale. Good. So I will have a metronome going, tuck, 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 and hopefully you will not be annoyed with it. But if that rhythm is too much for you, mute when we start and do the practice. So again, we're inhaling for 5 seconds, expanding the belly, exhaling, contracting the belly, diaphragm lifts up for 5 seconds. And then we hold the breath out, which means we're not inhaling or exhaling, and none of this is moving. So it's like you frozen statue. And then the next inhale becomes smooth, right? It's not like gasping of air. The suspension of the breath is 10 to 15 seconds, whatever is available to you, whatever you have the capacity to do. But again, you should not be gasping for the next inhale. If you gasp, that means your suspension is too long for you at this time. It will get better, I promise you. It is no other way, no other choice but to get better. But we have to be kind to ourselves and start with what is available to us. At the end of this meditation, we will inhale deeply and we'll stretch our arms overhead. And as we stretch our arms overhead, there will be another suspension of the breath with the arms up. And so I will time you and guide you through it. And then we will also shake the arms, and it's shaking of the excess energy, or just, I don't know, it's kind of like shamanic. Shake, 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 rattle, rattle, and then we come into the conclusion of the practice. Okay. there are many benefits to suspending the breath. As I mentioned earlier, the movement of the breath mimics the movement of the thoughts and emotions. And if we could gain and cultivate the ability to control or maintain a certain breath rhythm, we're able to control the speed of our thoughts, maybe. I don't know if the speed is the right word, but the flow of our thoughts and the flow of our emotions. So let's begin. Placing your hands onto the chest, 4 fingers together, thumbs are up, fingers are parallel, pointing towards each other. Eyelids are down. Make sure you push your chin back and down, sitting up with a nice long spine. We begin a deep inhale. On a count of 5. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath out. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath out. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continue at your pace. Slowly and deeply on the count of 5. Exhaling fully and completely for a count of 5. Keeping the breath out for whatever count is available to you, 10 or 15 seconds. Eyelids are down. Doing beautifully. Continue. Inhale deeply and smoothly. for a count of 5 seconds. Exhaling fully and completely for a count of 5 seconds. Keeping the breath out for 10 to 15 seconds. Make this your last cycle. And now deeply inhale, holding the same position. Stretch your arms up overhead. Hold that breath. Hold that breath. Exhale. Inhale again. Hold that breath as you shake the arms vigorously. Really, really shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Shake it so you're bouncing on your sit bones. Shake the whole spine. Exhale when you need to. One more time, deep inhale. And exhale. Bring the hands in Gyan Mudra, wisdom seal on your knees. Keep your eyes closed. Go within. Notice any sensations in the body. Witness your thoughts that were floating by during this practice. And I will read to you some of the comments about this meditation. This meditation, inner conflict, resolve, or reflex, is a form of an ancient therapy. We are often confused and held in a deadlock when inner conflict blocks our ability to think and act clearly. The body senses a lack of prana in vital areas of functioning and asks how it could quickly and optimally reorganize itself to respond to its survival threat. We rechannel the prana to form a new pattern. Your built-in computer can calculate your total resource and the level of challenge. In other words, when we inhale and exhale, but then we suspend the breath, the body kind of naturally starts freaking out. Where is that prana? Where is that prana? And it starts tapping into those pockets of energy that were distorted within our body, pockets of prana that are distorted in our body. When we have that inner conflict within us, we may or may not be aware of our own inner conflicts, but the suspension of the breath helps us reorganize that prana and release it. And so your inner conflict is the result of excess or disturbed prana. The effect of this meditation is certain, it's gradual, and it's simple. You just have to be honest with your timing. I hope you found the metronome helpful, in keeping it with a seconds count, so that you didn't have to guess 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Who wants to do that during meditation? And now we will embark on this 40-day journey together. Of course, I make myself available to all your questions, suggestions, feedbacks, or concerns. If anything comes up for you, if you have bodily sensations, discomfort, please let me know if you feel comfortable doing that, so we could help navigate this together. And now at the end of every Kundalini yoga practice, we seal the practice chanting Sat Nam. Sat means truth, Nam means identity or name. So truth is my identity. Let's bring our hands into prayer mudra in front of the heart center. Palms up, pressing into each other, forearms are lifted. Let's synchronize our breath. You may close the eyes down if you feel comfortable doing that. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale fully through the nose. Inhale deeply again. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Thank you so much for joining this challenge, and may you be healthy, safe, calm, peaceful, balanced, harmonious, filled with love, compassion, kindness, and understanding for all. Sat Nam.